have teenage daughters, and
Yes.
I would think that anyone that they're dating would be scared to death to come to the house with Love as the father.
I don't know what you're talking about. My daughter's only 15.
They're not dating?
No, they're not. Not that they better not be dating right now.
They're 15. They've got to have boyfriends or girlfriends or something. That's an age you start like being interested.
I didn't know that.
They're cheerleaders, right?
No, I really thought that they don't start dating till like 17, right? When do they start dating? Oh my God.
This story isn't just about Diddy anymore. Things have taken a surprising turn. Now, the attention is shifting to his twin daughters, Jessie and Dee Lila Combs. They're just teenagers, but somehow, their names are getting pulled into this storm surrounding their father. You probably remember those shocking federal raids on Diddy's homes, Miami, Los Angeles, and even his private jets. Agents seized phones, electronics, and more.
Mr. Combs, is this not the perfect father-daughter date night?
I'm speechless. I am speechless. Baby, you look so beautiful. So beautiful. She's a future actress. Her name is Chance Combs. Chance, you tell her.
Yes, I'm an aspiring actress, and it's my first time at the Oscars, so I'm really excited to be here.
At first, it seemed like Diddy was the only target. But now, it looks like the net is widening and it's getting tighter. And here's the part that has everyone talking. The feds have reportedly been digging into Jessie and Dee Lila's iCloud accounts. Think about that for a moment. Cloud tracks everything. Texts, photos, locations, deleted messages, nothing stays hidden there. That's the scary part. This didn't start yesterday either. Last year, these two girls willingly handed over their passports.
Been to a P. Diddy party?
Yeah, several, many, honestly.
And so, can you take us through, like, what goes on, like, when you were there?
Money
Right.
and sex.
Were you surprised that there were so many cameras in his houses?
No!
So let me ask you, when you hear that Cassie was told to hire male escorts to come in what they call freak-offs now,
Yeah.
is that something normal that
Yeah.
happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak-offs.
Hey, everybody know that. I've been saying it.
So why does Puffy, why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup? Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and fucking took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
That raised eyebrows then, and it's even more suspicious now. I mean, be honest, what teenager just gives up their passport for no reason? Something serious had to be going on behind the scenes. It almost feels like they were warned. Like someone said, things are about to go bad, be ready. And now that all eyes are on them, people are beginning to believe the girls were being prepped to escape quietly before Diddy's entire world came crashing down.
Know that your wife
Did
got
this.
urinated on and then found this out in court.
It's a lot.
Could you handle that?
But let me tell you, not only because he had left, he was in the back of the court and then he went. I think they took up to like a back room. But the girl, you know,
Diddy's
all the
kids.
Diddy kids are there,
Yeah.
right? So his daughters are there. I was sitting behind them. It was awkward for me to watch them have to listen to all of this. They, after he started, the male escort started getting into a lot of the masturbation and stuff. They got up and left.
Who told him to leave? Did Diddy say leave or?
No, Diddy didn't tell them to leave. I don't know if there was a conversation or not. I looked up from writing and I saw them get up, so I don't know. But I know that they were like checking on each other throughout. I saw them ask like Christian at one point, like, "You okay?"
Let's rewind a little and break it down. Everyone knows Diddy's name has been dragged through countless scandals lately. From lawsuits to federal investigations, it's been one blow after another. But nobody expected the heat to reach his teenage daughters. Jesse and Delilah, usually seen in sweet birthday photos or on glamorous red carpets, are now caught in the middle of an FBI investigation. Insiders say federal agents have been watching their digital activity. That alone speaks volumes.
Jesse James and Delilah Combs went to their senior prom over the weekend. Per usual, they dressed identically. Obviously, they're identical twins. They also posted a picture with their brothers and their baby sister, Love. I didn't see any photos with their sister, Chance. Maybe she had other things to do. At the beginning of his trial last week, 6 of his 7 children attended. 3 out of 4 of his daughters were there, which I personally thought was a terrible move. His baby girls are only 18 years old. I think Chance turned 18 last summer. The twins turned 18 sometime in December, but they were still very young.
Ask yourself, why would government agents be interested in teenage girls' phones unless something big was going on? Here's the thing, iCloud doesn't just store cute selfies and songs. It keeps a record of almost everything: text messages, call logs, voice notes, locations, even app history. So if Diddy ever used his daughters for anything shady, whether they knew it or not, those digital footprints might still be there. And let's not forget, teenagers see everything. If you live under the same roof with someone while shady stuff is going down, you may not be involved, but you definitely notice things. Now, remember what I said about the passports? These girls gave them up voluntarily last year. No one made them. That's not something most teens even think about. It suggests someone told them it was a smart move just in case. Maybe a family lawyer, maybe Diddy himself. Whoever it was, it seems like they were preparing for something big. Were they trying to protect the girls? Or keep them close? Or were they possibly setting them up for a silent getaway before everything exploded? Now, with the iCloud investigation in full swing, the timeline of events is looking messy. Jesse and Delilah might not be hiding from the law, but it sure seems like they're trying to show they aren't part of their dad's mess. And here's where it gets more intense when digital forensics gets involved. There's no room for lies. If the receipts are in the cloud, it's all there, plain and simple. And if you think the passport story was strange, wait until you hear what singer Jaguar Wright said about the twins. She's been outspoken about Diddy for a long time. Some people think she's chasing attention, while others believe she's been telling the truth from the start. Either way, she gets people talking. But this time, she didn't just criticize Diddy, she brought up his daughters directly. She said something chilling: they're not fighting for their father. They're fighting for survival. Think about that. Jaguar is suggesting that Jesse and Delilah aren't even defending their dad because they believe in him. They're doing it because they feel trapped. She painted a picture of complete control. She said the girls couldn't buy clothes, book trips, or even spend their own money without Diddy's approval. That doesn't sound like strict parenting, it sounds like domination. And now, with Diddy's empire crumbling, Jaguar claims the girls might be trying to pull away quietly without making a scene. Not with dramatic public statements, but by slowly separating themselves from the chaos. And honestly, that kind of makes sense. If you were in their shoes, wouldn't you do the same? Jesse and Delilah might be realizing that the shiny world they grew up in wasn't what it seemed. And if the FBI is deep into their digital lives, they have every reason to start protecting themselves, even if it means stepping away from their dad emotionally. But what exactly are they trying to escape? Well, the word on the street is that Diddy may have been moving money through offshore bank accounts. That's a big deal, especially during financial investigations. Offshore accounts are usually set up in places where U.S. law enforcement can't easily reach, places like the Cayman Islands, Dubai, or Switzerland. Why? To protect the money, especially if things get ugly at home. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Those kinds of accounts usually require in-person visits to access. You can't just wire millions of dollars from your couch. So guess what? That's where the passports come back into the story. Remember, Jesse and Delilah gave up their passports last year. Back then, people didn't understand why. But now it's all starting to make sense. Let's piece it together. The girls hand over their passports. Then Diddy's homes get raided. Allegations come pouring in. Lawsuits follow. And now, the feds are reviewing the twins' iClouds. It's not random. It looks like a carefully planned timeline. Maybe the girls weren't in on everything, but maybe they knew just enough. Enough to stay ready. Or maybe, just maybe, they were involved in some quiet getaway plan before the FBI locked things down. Some people believe Diddy may have planned to move money overseas and use his kids to help, because who would suspect two teenage girls? But with the government now watching them, it seems like that plan got interrupted. Here's another wild twist. After the federal raids, Diddy reportedly offered up $50 million for bail. Not just that, he also tried to surrender every family member's passport. Yep, even his daughters. He even handed over the passport of baby Love Combs. That wasn't random. That was a calculated move. It was Diddy's way of telling the government, we're not going anywhere. No one in my family is fleeing, but the feds weren't buying it. They rejected the offer. That's a huge red flag. When the federal government turns down that much money and a house full of passports, they aren't just worried about one person running, they believe the whole inner circle could be involved. They're worried Diddy might use his family, his kids, their phones, their travel access to hide money or silence witnesses. That changes everything. The feds aren't treating this like a solo crime. They see it as a coordinated operation. And that means everyone around Diddy is under the microscope, including Jessie and Delilah. Now these two girls are in a strange place. They're still young, but old enough to be questioned, old enough to know things. And if Diddy really controlled their finances and phones, every move they make could be suspicious. Let's not forget what that passport offer says about Diddy's mindset. Throwing your daughter's documents on the table like poker chips doesn't look like love. It looks like strategy. It looks like he was willing to use them to save himself. And with Diddy's wealth disappearing quickly, the girls may not want to let go of the billionaire lifestyle. That leads us to their social media behavior. On Instagram, the twins are living the dream: vacations, yachts, luxury outfits, exotic getaways. From Aspen to the Caribbean, it's glam, glam, glam. But here's the problem: people are noticing. One person commented, "The way they're acting like nothing's happening, so out of touch." Another added, "If I were them, I'd be staying offline." They must know people are watching now. And it's not just random followers saying this. Jaguar Wright also called them out for being silent, saying they're either protecting Diddy or staying quiet to protect themselves. But there's another side. Some people defend the girls. They say Jessie and Delilah may not know the full truth. And that's fair. After all, they didn't choose this life. They were born into it. Every trip, every outfit, every public appearance, it's all they've ever known. So now, with everything crashing down, walking away isn't easy. Imagine if your school, your home, your friends, even your clothes, were all tied to your dad's name. Would you know how to start over? Would you want to? That's the hard part. Are they pretending nothing's wrong because they're blind to it? Or are they just trying to survive until it's over? So what do you think? Are Jessie and Delilah trying to run from justice? Or just their father's mess? Are they victims of Diddy's world? Or are they finally waking up to the truth? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk about it. This story is far from over, and you won't want to miss what comes next. See y'all in the next one.